Welcome back to another episode. On this week's episode...
Hey, I thought it looks good. It's gonna look so naked. That shouldn't be happening. Did it.
Walks right under the mast and is like... Thanks for watching. Enjoy the show. This is Ben, our jean vest-loving, fearless captain. One day he convinced me to go along with him on the adventure of buying and moving onto a sailboat, Kiana. And since then, we've had no regrets. I'm Allie, by the way, first mate and fishing enthusiast. And together, we've been exploring the Pacific Northwest, and one day we hope to take her home and our surfboards even further. Oh, this is Bruce, our sandy boat dog. Thanks for coming along with us, and special thanks to our patrons for keeping us going. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell. Oh my god. I can't believe this is a thing right now. Welcome to Sydney Spit. In our last couple episodes, you would have seen Ben and I sail from Yuki down and through the Juan de Fuca Strait, around the bottom of Vancouver Island and up to Victoria. We spent a couple of days in Victoria before motoring from Victoria up to the Sydney Spit to stage ourselves as close as we could to the marina that we would be hauling out at. The wind was forecasted to get up to 35 knots overnight, and Sydney Spit had mooring balls, so we figured it would be a good spot to spend the night before. At the Spit, Bruce made friends with a seal, and although safe, a mooring ball was definitely not quiet.
Morning, everybody. As you can see by my dress, it is still winter. I'm pretty tired today. We stayed at the Spit, the Sydney Spit last night, and as predicted, the wind just picked up and started howling all night, and our line tied to the mooring buoy, which is making so much noise, it's so hard to sleep. And then we had to get up and leave at dead low tide, which, if you know Sydney Spit, is a challenge in itself in a sailboat, and motor across the strait, I think it's the Harrow Strait, over to Canoe Cove here, and then come into dock in howling winds. And it was like legit, like huge swell, like similar to Juan de Fuca swell.
It was challenging.
In the strait there. We were surfing like the longest surf we've ever surfed. So I am friggin' over winter, man. It's been the longest winter ever. I think I've said it 1,000 times, but honestly, like, I need this shit to end.
You know what? Let's go to Mexico.
Yeah, let's go to friggin' Mexico.
Yes, somebody did such a good paint job last year. So.
We have to scream.
Bottom looks cleaner than the top.
Even that propeller looks really good. I guess it's only the air, so come on, buddy. Let's go. Get your food.
All right, so with our mast coming down in either tomorrow or the next day, the first thing I have to do, or the first thing I was told to do, was is to disconnect all the electricals that go to the masthead so that when they do pull it out, all the wires don't come out with it. So I took a look at a YouTube video on how to do that, and I'm gonna get her done. I don't know if you guys can hear me okay because I'm in the boatyard and it's really loud, but I saw Brent this morning and he came around to see how we were doing and just to let us know the time that we're getting hauled out, or our mast taken down tomorrow. And he took a look and then I asked him some questions and he showed me the base of our mast here. And so we used to have a bunch of silicone all up over here. Like I've cut it off. And then this is our boot, or sorry, our collar. As you can see, there's some residual silicone, but under this silicone is where the collar meets, like kind of right here. And then there's this, which I'm not sure what it's actually made of, but it apparently is malleable still. I don't know if you can kind of see that. So they put grease on the mast before they put this in there, so it should be able to just slide right out. That's looking pretty good. Uh-oh. Jeez Louise. So yeah, I just had to cut some of the silicone off and I stuck my knife in around just to make sure that it is movable all the way around. If it's not, he said that we're gonna have to take, there's some screws there. There's some screws there. We're just gonna have to take the collar off. We checked from the inside too, and there is like a silicone basing, and then it's greased on the inside. So it should slide right off. Lordy. What's missing? The boom. We took the boom down. That's our mainsail. This morning it was also calm enough for us to take our jib sail off. So the jib sail is folded and put in the dinghy right there. The boat is starting to look a little bit bare. We also have taken our jib sheets. We're gonna get new jib sheets and we're gonna make our old jib sheets. I don't know if you guys remember, but we had to cut them at one point, and so they're pretty old and haggard looking. Also, we had a storm one time that ripped our current dock lines. So we're switching out our jib sheets, we're making them dock lines, and we're getting new jib sheets. So Kiana's gonna be pretty fancy when she's done. Everything's gonna be new. Yeah. So, pretty much done all the prep for the mast coming down tomorrow. And then we have a hole in our keel again, and I might start working on that. It is kind of spot raining today, so maybe I'll just get the tools out, start sanding if I can, and working on other jobs. So yeah. And for my next trick, I'm gonna sand this hole that Ben put in the boat.
All right, well, I just ran aground. I felt like it did some damage potentially.
Alrighty, let's take a look. Pretty smooth now. That's nice. Morning, amigos. Today we're working on the prop. We got to get new zincs, but also I think we need a new cutlass bearing. I know this because that shouldn't be happening, and that is because of a cutlass bearing. So in here there's the plastic bit, and we need a new one because ours must be crunchy. Also, check this out. You can see the new metal shining through, which means it's actually slipping out a bit. So that could be because of our shaft seal, which is actually inside here, or it could be because of our engine mounts collapsing, which whatever, it could be both. I'm pretty sure it's that. But anyway, we need new zincs. We're gonna take this whole prop off and try to get it working again. And you'll have to wait for a future episode to see the rest of this project, since it was time for Blackline to come take our mast.
All right, so we have Blackline here with the crane. These guys are the best in the business apparently in BC, maybe even Pacific Northwest in general. So yeah, exciting to see we're getting progress here on the rig. This is something we've been meaning to do ever since we bought her. And it's sort of a big milestone on the way to offshore cruising.
Day for Kiana. She's gonna look so big with us. It's lately enough cold out, windy it is.
Seems like everything we're doing in the last couple weeks, anytime we need the weather to cooperate is when it's super windy all of a sudden. Check out the light. I don't know if that happened just now or if it's been like that for a while, but either way, I guess we've decided we're replacing the light.
Is that the strobing one?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, weird. I thought it went all the way down.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Whoa, it's so strange feeling in here. What do you think, Luce? Okay, somebody needs a nap. I'm stoked it's done. Now the real work starts. Also, I don't know if you guys remember Brent. He works with Blackline. He's one of the riggers. Well, I was walking through the yard the other morning with Bruce on Tuesday, and I see Brent, and he's walking, and he's like, "Hey, Jeff, how you doing?" "Oh, George, the keel looks great." And he sees me, and he spins around, and he's like, "Alec, crane on Wednesday?" And I was like, sure. He's definitely the cool kid in the yard. And then as our mast came down, it came down on an angle, and all the guys were kind of at one end, and he just like walks out of nowhere and walks right under the mast and is like, and like holds his hand out, and the mast just gets lowered into his hand. He's like, "Everything's fine." He like puts it down. He's for certain the cool guy in the yard. But yeah, it was dialed in. It was, the guys did really great. There was no problems. It's really windy out today, and they weren't even bothered by it. They got us crammed in here like sardines, and again, they weren't even bothered by it. So they have it like, it's a really, really tight procedure they got. Everybody working really well. So I'm really, really happy that we went with Blackline. Ben and I both were like, imagine trying to do this ourselves. So wow, I'm happy that's over. I've been kind of like, that's been like the gunning up point. We've been gearing up for this moment for almost 2 years. Honestly, we've been saving up for a long time. So I'm really stoked for Kiana to have this kind of improvement, and I'm really excited for the rig to go back on and to be like, wow, she looks good. So here we go, excitement for the day. Do you think Brent is the cool guy in town? Yeah. Me too, buddy, me too. And so, feeling naked without our mast, we made this boatyard home for the next month or so while we knocked off a bunch more projects in preparation for, hopefully, heading down south. Shout out to Nicholas for joining our Patreon team. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.